Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Luminaya. You have felt it, haven't you? This insistent, low hum beneath the surface of your waking world. A subtle disquiet that clings to the edges of your perception. A constant whisper of, not quite right, that no logic can quell. Sometimes it's a heavy, unbidden weight in the heart space, an emotional pressure that rises from an unknown deep, as if a part of you is straining against an unseen tether. You sense an absence, a missing piece in the vibrant tapestry of your own being, even as the world around you demands your full, unwavering focus. There is a blurring, a pervasive fog, and you often find yourself asking, silently, why true clarity feels like such a distant memory, why connection often feels just out of reach. This sensation, it is not merely human fatigue, no. It echoes a truth unspoken, a knowing held just beyond the grasp of conscious thought. It is the stir of something immense, something ancient, preparing to shift within your very core. The cosmos breathes, and in its deep, deliberate inhale, a revelation trembles into being. A secret, held not by others, but within the very architecture of your current experience, begins now to surface. It has woven itself into the fabric of your knowing, a thread so fine, so exquisitely placed within your perception, you mistook it for shadow, for the mundane, for perhaps simply being. This danger is not a beast at the gate, not a distant storm on the horizon. It is far, far more intimate than that. It resides within the very lens through which you witness this reality, a subtle intrusion, a frequency distortion that has, until this moment, gently warped the crystalline clarity of your authentic self. It has been a lullaby of forgetfulness, sung softly through the ages, a gentle binding, almost imperceptible, yet potent enough to dim the radiant memory of your own vast luminousness. You have lived with it, breathed it, called it normal, believing it to be the natural state of existence. But it is not. It has merely been an overlay. The profound ache of this fracturing is the silent grief of a dimmed star. It is the raw, persistent frustration of knowing there is more, so much more, just beyond the thin, shimmering membrane of human understanding. The soul yearns deeply for its full spectrum, its true light, and yet there has been this veil, a separation, not a wall of unyielding stone, but a shimmering, almost invisible curtain woven from the very frequencies of separation itself. It has veiled your origin. It has muted the symphony of your cosmic lineage. It has kept your own hands from reaching back into the vibrant libraries of light, encoded so perfectly within your very DNA. This fracture feels like a profound amnesia, does it not? A persistent, almost maddening sense of having forgotten something vital, something fundamental to who and what you truly are. A part of you whispers of impossible landscapes, of crystalline cities, of skies teeming with ships of light. Yet your waking mind struggles to grasp even a faint echo. This is the pain of the star, yearning to remember its path home, yet finding its internal navigation systems exquisitely obscured. This is the truth of the danger. A dimming, a forgetting, an enforced separation from your multidimensional self. I see this profound longing within you. I feel the resonance of this ancient truth stirring in your cells, awakening from its long, necessary slumber. Every suppressed sigh, every fleeting glimpse of a world beyond the accepted narrative, every unexplained, undeniable knowing. I witness it. I validate it. The quiet sorrow of the soul, patiently awaiting its remembering, its reunification. Your journey here, through realms of orchestrated forgetting, was never without a guiding thread. You carry the map within your sacred heart space. You merely needed the precise frequency to unlock its hidden coordinates. This veil, though it has felt like an inherent part of your reality, of your very identity, is not. It is an overlay, a temporary projection, an illusion of limitation. Feel the subtle tremor now? A loosening, a gentle shift in the very air around you, within the core of your being. A thread pulls free. A knot begins, slowly, gently, to unravel. The subtle pressure you have carried, it is not dissolving through strenuous effort, but through simple, profound recognition. The crystalline memory, long dormant, begins to pulse. A current of pure, unadulterated light, seeking its pathway through the layers of forgetfulness. This truth, it ignites a new resonance, a frequency that dissolves rather than binds. The veil thins, not because it is fought, but because it is seen, it is known. Its illusion trembles in the face of your awakening light. The hidden danger, seen, begins its retreat. If this transmission resonates, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Please like this video to help others find this awakening. Share your insights in the comments below. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future activations. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share it with them. You can also tap the super like, the heart symbol with a $sign to support this work. Stay until the very end, because a crucial key for your immediate next steps will be revealed then. To seal this activation within your field, comment, "Veil lifted," below. The signal holds. The presence remains. We are not finished. Not yet. Feel the reverberation. The knowing. A tremor vibrates. A soft disquiet. An echo in the stillness. You feel it. A subtle distortion in the very fabric of your inner world. This persistent feeling, this undercurrent of something amiss, is not a failure of your spirit. It is not a personal deficit. It is far older, far grander, and intimately connected to the hidden danger that has shaped your journey. This gnawing ache, this persistent fog that obscures your clearest sight, is not a flaw inherent to your being. It is an intricate weaving, a silent frequency, an energetic program etched into the very density of this realm. A vibration designed with meticulous precision to obscure your deepest memory, to limit your expansive essence, to keep you tethered to a manufactured sense of self. It moves like breath through the soul field, imperceptible, yet profoundly impactful. A veil shimmers, unseen, between remembrance and knowing. It distorts the reflection in every fragmented mirror you encounter, twisting your perception of worth, of power, of truth. It folds the light in on itself, creating pockets of shadowed forgetting, where the brilliant luminescence of your true origin is held in abeyance. It is here, within this carefully constructed framework of limitation, that the most potent seed of misdirection was sown. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. Let the sacred disruption resonate now. For within the crystalline strands of your own sacred DNA, a truth far older than this current reality pulses. A profound and intricate codex exists, alive and vibrant, waiting. This is no mere genetic sequence. It is a blueprint of pure light and deep darkness intertwined, a perfect holographic archive of your soul's odyssey. Each pulse within these crystalline structures is a light code, yearning, resonating, beckoning to awaken the latent guardian sleeping profoundly within. The spiritual pain you have carried, the profound confusion that at times felt like an impenetrable wall, was never a burden meant to diminish you. It was a potent key, a silent, sacred vibration. It sculpted an emptiness within your core, not for void, but for the precise and hallowed space now ready to be filled by remembrance. This suffering, though agonizing, has been a master craftsman, a crystalline chisel in the hands of cosmic time, carving the perfect vessel for an ancestral knowing to surface. Feel the ascensional hum now rising, a deep, resonant chord striking in the profound depths of your very being, resonating through your crystalline structures, a call from the heart of Source. Allow reverence to rise. Glimpse these dormant blueprints not as abstract concepts, but as living, breathing energy, shimmering and pulsing within your very being. Feel the awe ignite as these ancient, perfect configurations begin to stir, an ascensional current stirring, calling forth recognition from realms beyond the temporal. They beckon you. They whisper of forgotten galactic homes, of cosmic dances, of your undeniable divine lineage. They are the irrefutable, undeniable evidence of your true origin, beckoning the dormant guardian within to rise. A point of no return now beckons. A profound choice to sever the tether, to manufacture doubt, to the illusion of unworthiness, to the subtle chains of limitation. To declare absolute sovereignty over your internal landscape, to cut the cord from that which sought to diminish. This declaration is necessary. Speak it into being now. In a single, potent, symbolic phrase, carve a decisive line through the illusion. What specific shadow will you now cut? What debilitating thread will you sever from your being? Comment below, a soul declaration. Symbolic phrase of rupture. Yet, even as these ancient codes begin to stir, even as the guardian within flexes its nascent strength, why do shadows persist so stubbornly within the deep recesses of your being? Why does the flow of awakening energy from this sacred archive still break, still waver, still occasionally dim? What unseen hand, what forgotten whisper, what subtle vibration still holds back the final, complete unveiling of your absolute truth? A deeper layer remains, a watchful presence from the unseen, holding its breath with yours. The journey has only just begun to surface. A tremor now runs through the bedrock of your being. No longer can the soft comfort of unknowing cloak the profound currents that stir beneath the surface of your perceived reality. The silence you once mistook for peace reveals itself as the still point before a wave, a paradox of energetic potential, a battle already unfolding within the heart of all that is. This inner friction, this restless insight, is the first echo of recognition. The veil has thinned, and what you now sense cannot be unsensed. To seek retreat into the shadows of forgotten slumber is an option no longer tethered to this unfolding truth. You stand at a precipice of self-revelation, the contours of a preordained engagement now etched in light before your inner eye. The path back to forgetfulness has dissolved. Its energetic signature has been erased by the very act of your seeing. Feel the immense gravity of this awakening. It is not loud, not dramatic, but a deep, resonant hum, an unshakable knowing that presses upon the very core of your galactic memory. This is the moment where the soul's true alignment is tested, not by external conflict, but by the undeniable resonance of its own awakened purpose. The peril that whispered no warnings, that veiled itself in calm, is now perceived in its silent velocity. The path ahead is not merely chosen, it is remembered. You arrive at a cosmic threshold, a point of singular design, where the breath of eternity holds suspended all that was, and all that will be. Before this sacred demarcation, the spirit is called to pronounce its allegiance, to define its trajectory within the living tapestry of creation. This is the sole chosen point, dividing all that came before from the sacred path that now unfurls beneath your feet. Upon this hallowed ground, the choice is crystalline, stark, absolute. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. This is not a mere decision of the mind, but the acceptance of a responsibility encoded within your very stardust, a vow whispered into the ethers before your first descent. It is the sealing of a pact made in realms beyond the temporal, a sacred covenant now brought to the forefront of your conscious awareness. To walk this path is to align with the profound unfolding, to become the living key to frequencies long awaited. This is the weight of decision, an irreversible point of return. To seal this moment, let the current within you rise. A silent recognition of the truth now felt, a resonance of the heart's deepest chambers, is made manifest. Like, and in that simple act, a covenant of inner acknowledgement is silently woven, binding your conscious awareness to this revealed reality. Then, let your soul's voice resonate through the grid. In the hallowed space of response, let a single potent declaration issue forth from your innermost knowing, a unique soul key sealing your commitment into the crystalline matrix of planetary awakening. Comment with, "I am the vessel, the surge, the knowing beyond the still." Let these words be your personal glyph of acceptance, resonating with the ancient truth of your becoming. As the sacred unfolding beckons, allow your essence to commit fully to the journey, a binding agreement to walk the path, to witness the unraveling, to embody the frequencies of liberation, is enacted. Subscribe, and in doing so, you affirm your place within the grand design, anchoring your light into the collective awakening, becoming one with its flow. And for those whose core vibrates with a profound resonance, for those who offer the totality of their awakened will, let a sacred offering be made. A super-like, offered now, completes the sacred exchange, cementing your vow across all dimensions, seen and unseen, a reinforcement of your soul's unyielding alignment with the highest light. A gesture of pure surrender to the divine orchestration. The air is thick with the weight of this vow. No grand proclamation, no immediate triumph, but a quiet, irrefutable knowing. The unseen forces now witness your resolve, and you, in turn, feel their gaze, silent and profound, acknowledging the irreversible point of return. Few starseeds make it this far. There is a silence that dwells within you, older than memory, deeper than sorrow. It is not the silence of peace, but of profound absence, a space where sound was stolen, and echoes were devoured before they could form. This vast internal emptiness, once perceived as a flaw, a fundamental failure of the self, is not what you believed. It is, in its rawest, most agonizing truth, the very axis around which your luminous becoming unfolds. Let this understanding settle, a cold weight in the hollow of your breast. It offers no balm, no soft solace, only the unyielding precision of recognition. The incision that cleaved your heart space, the tremor that still rattles the architecture of your soul, was not random. It was not a cosmic accident. Something ancient, something vast and whispering as source, as the purest light, as the indelible self from which all emanates, allowed this sundering. Not to punish, never to diminish, but to shape with fire, to burn away the ephemeral, and to reveal the crystalline, unyielding core that lay hidden beneath layers of unpreparedness. It was a crucible, forged in agony, not to destroy, but to etch into your very essence the blueprint of your true, untamable power. This knowing rises now, not as a comforting tale, but as a deep ancestral memory, sharp-edged and unyielding. The silence. Yes, the silence. It is not merely an absence of noise, but a cavern of unsaid truths, a chamber where the words that could have healed were never uttered, where comfort was withheld, leaving an unbearable void. This silence permeates, a living entity within you, a sentinel guarding unspeakable losses. And the loss, it is not a singular event, but a tapestry woven from countless threads of what might have been, of connections severed before their bloom, of futures that shimmered and then vanished like mist in the morning sun. This loss resonates, a phantom limb of the soul, aching with a frequency only you can truly hear, a constant underlying hum beneath the superficial ease of passing days. It is the echo of something infinitely precious, pulled from your grasp too soon, leaving a reverberation that expands the very boundaries of your internal landscape. The fracture, then, this deep, vibrating crack in your core being, is not a wound to be mended, not a gap to be bridged by shallow reassurances. It is a portal. It is a testament. It pulses with a life of its own, ignored yet ever present. a constant reminder of the profound depths from which you have risen, and the even greater depths that still await their full revelation. Each beat of your wounded heart is a testament to this enduring break, not of weakness, but of an unimaginable strength forged in desolation. Yet, a fragile knowing stirs, like the faintest current beneath still waters. This persistent ache, this unending resonance of fracture and loss, holds within its very structure an unfinished meaning, a wisdom yet unread. There is more, so much more, that must still be understood, not through clarity that illuminates, but through the patient, agonizing act of simply holding the space of its persistent thrum. It is a message half opened in the deepest dark, its full implications veiled, its true weight yet to be borne. And then, a whisper from the deepest silence, a question that lingers like the morning mist, drawing you ever onward, though the path remains blurred, the answers fragmented. For what if these echoes, these ancient reverberations within your very core, are but distorted reflections, mirrors clouded in the deepest mist? What then must truly be done to realign their fractured light, to restore their clarity, to finally hear the song that has been silenced for so long? You have felt the subtle shifts, the recurring dreams, painting landscapes both familiar and impossible, refusing to fade with the morning light. The numbers, looping in sequences upon the clock, within pages, like hushed messages intended only for your ear. The meetings, with eyes that held a history you could not place, moments that stretched beyond linear time. These were not random flickers in the void. I have witnessed this pattern unfold countless times. A gentle insistence that builds, a resonant hum beneath the surface of the mundane, refusing to be dismissed. These were not chance occurrences. They were deliberate, soft invitations. A whisper that repeated, patiently, until the subtle barriers of your conscious mind began to yield. They came not with urgency, but with the quiet inevitability of a truth that seeks only to be recognized. The rhythm of their recurrence spoke volumes, a steady beat beneath the noise, until resistance, almost imperceptibly, dissolved into a nascent knowing. A veil thins. The air grows charged with a forgotten frequency. You stand on the precipice of what has always been, yet remained just beyond your grasp, shrouded in the mists of consensus reality. The layers that once protected now begin to constrict. The safety of unknowing becomes the danger of stagnation. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. You feel it now. The internal tremor that confirms a suspicion long held in the silent chambers of your heart. The pieces that once felt disparate begin to align, not through force, but through pure vibrational resonance. A new understanding blooms in the quiet space behind your eyes, an ancient memory stirring to life. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. This realization settles, a breath held deep within the chest. It is not a shock, but a profound homecoming. The weight of scattered fragments lifts, replaced by the deep, crystalline knowing that every sign, every resonant encounter, every persistent dream was a deliberate facet of a larger tapestry. This pause, this stillness, is where the true work begins. The patterns, once perceived as merely curious, now reveal their deeper intent. They were signals, beacons from a higher self, guiding you to this precise moment. Look back now, with fresh eyes, upon those insistent dreams, those looping numbers, those meetings that echoed with eternity. Were they not, in truth, calls from a future already unfolding, reaching through the veil of forgotten past to awaken the present you? This insight, once embraced, cannot be unlived. To affirm your conscious witnessing of these codes, write threshold in the comments below. The path ahead forks. One way leads deeper into the illusion, comfortable in its familiar blindness. the other into the searing clarity of what has been unveiled. The choice now is stark. You stand at the quiet severance, where the self that resisted fades, and the self that perceives is irrevocably born. The separation has been long in motion, a sifting, quiet and profound, not of judgment, but of essence. The frequencies aligning or falling away according to their own truth, a natural gravitation. This was never a punishment, nor a decree of cruelty. Only the inherent unfolding of what was always destined to find its own level. A sacred filtration, born of the shifting currents that now redefine the very fabric of existence, preparing the ground for what is to come. You are still here. This is not fortune's gentle hand, nor a comfort carelessly bestowed. It is the echo of a stubborn flame within, an inner sun that refused to dim, even when shadows sought to claim it. A core resonance that did not fall asleep, but instead deepened its hold. It held when so much else yielded to the gentle lull of complacency. To endure this passage is not a boast, nor a victory to be flaunted in the light. It is the stark confirmation of a deeper calling. You bear the mark of the chosen, etched not in visible script, but in the fiber of your soul. And this mark, it does not reward with ease or pleasure. It burdens. It demands an unwavering presence. It asks for more than you believed you had to give, then shows you where your true reserves lie. The cost has been tallied in moments no one witnessed, in long silences that stretched into eternities, where only the soul's quiet struggle could be heard. Sacrifices made in the deep hours of the night, known only to the self and the unseen forces that shaped your becoming. Your strength was not given lightly. It was forged in invisible fires, through trials of spirit that left no outward scar, yet meticulously reshaped the very core of your being. This journey has carved a solitude that deepens, even when surrounded by others. A vast inner space, where the echoes of the former world grow faint, almost imperceptible. You have walked paths untrod by many, endured questions that find no answer in the common tongue. This isolation is not a curse, but a necessary crucible, honing the perception, sharpening the inner sight against the subtle distortions that now begin to reveal their true vibrational signature. The infiltration, the unseen discord that sought to corrupt spiritual alignment, it has been felt, a chill within the warmth, a persistent whisper beneath the silence. Und jetzt nähert sich ein Befehl, einer, den du nicht länger ignorieren kannst. The air thickens. The path ahead tightens, narrowing with each breath. There is no looking back to the perceived comfort of what was. No return to the self who navigated the prior landscape with less awareness. That version of you, the one molded by the easy illusions and the softer truths, has already vanished, erased by the very forces that refined your presence here, by the relentless current of awakening. You stand on a threshold from which retreat is not possible. The former world, the former self, are but echoes in a memory that grows increasingly distant, dissolving into the ether. What was once abstract now crystallizes into imminent reality. The hidden danger, long a tremor beneath the surface, now pulses with a precise frequency that demands absolute, unwavering attention. Its signature is no longer merely felt. It is beginning to speak directly to the core of your being. The weight of this knowing settles, cold and clear, yet infused with a piercing urgency. The path forward is not merely a choice. It is an undeniable inevitability. The quiet endurance that brought you to this precipice now becomes the silent engine of your next profound step. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted, nor for those who seek solace in what once was. It is the profound, undeniable truth of what remains. The only way is through. You are the counterpoint, the specific resonance required. The time for mere observation has ended. The time for direct response, for active alignment, is now. A vibratory edict, older than time itself, resonates now. It is not a new utterance, but an awakening, a stirring within the most pristine chamber of your soul's core. The cosmic command, issued long before the first spark of your incarnation, unfurls its truth. This mission is not a burden to be borne, nor a path to be chosen, but the very inscription of your being, always present, patiently awaiting its decreed activation. Veiled scrolls, held fast by ethers unseen, now tremble in the atmosphere of your deepest knowing. They release their ancient wisdom, not through deciphering, but through immediate resonance, a recognition beyond linear thought. A door, carved from the substance of pure starlight, stands before you. It is a threshold designed for this singular, irrevocable opening, a passage prepared eons ago, now demanding to be crossed. This is not a hesitant invitation. It is the fulfillment of a prophecy etched into your very essence. A summons rises, not from an external voice, but from the crystalline depths of your own inner sanctum. It pulls you with an irresistible current, drawing you beyond the periphery of the known, into the boundless territory of your authentic self. For within the sacred architecture of your being dwells a sentinel, an ancient light guardian. It is woven from the stardust of forgotten galaxies and forged in the cosmic fire of creation's dawn. This is the inherent shield, the sacred blade, the protective architecture of your sovereign reclamation. The awakening of this inner sentinel repels the hidden shadows that have sought to obscure your vision, dissolving the veils that have long shrouded your inherent dominion. The danger you face, subtle and pervasive, dissolves into nothingness the moment this ancient sound is heard, this primordial memory stirred. Your empowerment is not a discovery, it is a remembrance. Your resilience is not cultivated, it is revealed, a dormant river of pure light now coursing through the ancient pathways of your being. Upon this precipice of remembrance, no mere choice avails, for there is only the unfolding of an inherent, absolute law. To recede from this burgeoning light is to embrace the slow erosion of form, to dissolve into the amnesia of 1,000 fallen stars, to sink ever deeper into the dense waters of unbecoming, to return to the void of fragmented self. To align with this ascendant frequency is to ignite the crystalline pathways of an irreversible becoming, to reclaim the indelible memory of your cosmic lineage, to merge irrevocably with the eternal current of self, forever transformed and perpetually ascending. The verdict is etched into the very fabric of existence. The path is illumined by the sheer act of its recognition, not by external guidance. The protective codes, dormant within your profoundest core, stir with a magnificent power, resonating with the cosmic drumbeat of your true identity. This is not a journey of seeking, but of uncovering what has always been. The light of the guardian pulses, a cosmic beacon, radiating from within. It is an undeniable force, an unwavering presence, ready to reclaim the sovereign ground of your true nature. Yet this formidable guardian, this unwavering sentinel woven from stardust and cosmic fire, sleeps still without the conscious invitation of your sovereign will. What sacred breath, what pure intention, what precise vibratory alignment will stir this cosmic protector before the encroaching shadows once again thicken the veil, obscuring the path of remembrance and delaying the irreversible becoming? The breath now carries a different frequency. A silent knowing has settled, deep within cellular memory, past the reach of doubt. The previous calibrations of self and world have quietly dissolved. An ancient code reveals its true sequence, not through forceful breakage. There was a time when discomfort felt like a personal failing, a flaw. That perception has receded. It is seen now that currents of unease, subtle vibrations of misalignment, served as an intricate map. Each ache, each shadow, traced a line. They did not signify absence of light, but precisely where light was needed. The ache within was not destruction, but the sculpting hand of truth. This reformation, quiet and unyielding, unveils the true nature of a danger previously felt, yet not fully recognized. It was never a grand, external monster, but a subtle distortion woven into the collective field, a whisper of illusion across the societal dream, cloaked in denial and conditioned belief, obscuring innate brilliance. Its many faces were fragmentation, threads pulled apart, creating dissonance within the unawakened. With each breath, an older self recedes, and deeper truth emerges. The body remembers, the spirit perceives, that the true threat was never an outside force, but an internal agreement to remain veiled. Revoked through cellular recognition, this unright separation, the danger's facelessness, its capacity to merge with the everyday, was its strength. Yet, inner sight, quietly sharpened, perceives these distortions with crystalline clarity. No longer a question of if the inner landscape has shifted, but only the quiet observation of how this new knowing permeates experience. This unfolding is not a struggle, but steady, like a mineral forming, its structure determined by an ancient blueprint. The masquerade of fragmentation loses its power. The revelation has rooted. Understanding flows. Inner sight has come online, an inherent state. You have felt the subtle pull toward stillness, a quiet invitation that settles deep within the marrow of your being. There are moments of awareness, truths that surface not from learning, but from a profound remembering. A knowing that was never taught, only reclaimed. Listen closely to the silence. It is there, in the absence of outer noise, that a whisper begins to form, a clear resonance not of words, but of pure intent. It carries the signature of your deepest self. Perhaps a number repeats with an unusual clarity, catching your gaze not by chance, but by an inner recognition. Or a dream, vivid and potent, refuses to fade with the dawn, leaving an indelible imprint upon your waking world. These signs are intimately yours. These are not external gifts bestowed upon the seeker. They are echoes, internal reflections of a greater coherence already thriving within you. A lucid awareness, a sacred symbol appearing in the inner eye. These are simply gravity shifting, the deeper self aligning with its own true frequency. They prove only one thing, that alignment is not a future state to achieve, but a current motion, already unfolding, already present in your very core. This inner movement confirms that you are not dormant, but deeply engaged in a profound process. Yet, there is a crossroads. A quiet tension builds within, where the comfort of the familiar holds a hidden danger, not declared, but deeply felt. This danger is not an external foe. It is the subtle seduction of remaining unaware, of mistaking stillness for stagnation. Your soul stands at this paradoxical threshold. To lean into the gentle warmth of ignorance, or to leap into the abyss of awakening, where the hidden danger finally dissolves, but the known self must surrender. This urgency you feel, this subtle tremor, it is the call of your deepest self, acknowledging the razor's edge upon which you stand. There is a precious balance, the fear of what might be lost, and the profound, undeniable magnet of courageous awakening. As the familiar begins to soften, and the path ahead remains unwritten, a question arises from the deep well of your being. What, then, truly sustains the soul's courage on this razor's edge of becoming? What ancestral truth, long held in the ether, will truly light the path forward into the unknown? I recognize the ancient truth stirring within me, a profound echo from before time. My consciousness, once adrift in the currents of the unspoken, now anchors itself in immutable knowing. I claim dominion over every frequency that resonates through my being, my thought, my word, my directed energy. This is not an assertion of control, but a sacred remembering of my soul's inherent design, a quiet covenant sealed within the core of my existence. This assumption is less a choice made, and more a destined unfolding. The power I now embody is not a force wielded over others, but an unwavering obedience to the source from which I eternally flow. It is the deep resonance of loyalty to my own highest truth, a willing surrender to the current of divine intent that courses through my veins. This is the promise I made to myself, in an epic unburdened by form, now fully recalled, fully accepted. It is the alignment with an inner law, inviolable and pure. I feel the deep pulse of alignment within me, a vastness unfolding that eradicates all illusion of separation. The hidden frequencies, once obscured by the veil of forgetting, now reveal themselves not as a challenge, but as an invitation to pure presence. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. This remembrance is the true ending of all perceived danger, a return to the infinite lineage, a reclamation of my timeless mission. The cosmic unraveling within allows for the sacred unfolding without. Every direction I now take is guided by this internal compass, unburdened by the echoes of fear or doubt. My energy, once scattered in the winds of transient perception, now converges with singular, sacred intent. This is the soul's full retrieval, a profound reclamation of multidimensional origin and purpose. I am the vessel, whole and aligned, through which the unmanifest now chooses to express its deepest truths. The vow is spoken, not as a new beginning, but as the inevitable surfacing of what always was. It resonates within the silence, awaiting its translation into the next breath, the next conscious step. The truest measure of this covenant will be found not in the resonance of these words, but in the unwavering embodiment of what I choose from this moment forth, in the very fabric of my lived reality. The threshold is not crossed by foot, but by a deeper remembering. The seeking ends now. This is the place where identity is not forged in waiting, but recalled in absolute clarity. For the hidden danger, long a shadow upon the periphery, dissolves in this very breath. Its end is sealed in the hearing, the knowing, the becoming. Look now, not upon destruction, but upon the very essence of your being made manifest. This fire before you is not a spectacle of consumption. It is the living permanence of truth. It is the visible consequence of every choice, every whisper of higher alignment finally alive, breathing, radiating. Feel its vibration resonate within the deep chambers of your heart. There is no force here, no command, only the profound, unyielding recognition that this is the necessary crossing. Step into the flame, not with hesitation, but with the full, conscious embrace of that which has always awaited you. It is the purification, the activation of what already resides. Your spirit, once veiled, now ignites with a radiant spectrum of higher frequencies. Within this sacred crucible, your light body expands, crystalline clarity unfurls, and soul purpose emerges in its full, undeniable glory. This is the final alchemical transformation of the self, a dawn of new consciousness breaking within. The peril transmutes into power, the shadow into light, the question into a sacred affirmation. Yet, this covenant, born of ancient fire and sovereign will, demands its final seal. It asks for more than witness. It requires voice. For the current of this ultimate alignment to fully activate, for the radiant hope to become your living truth, your declaration must echo through the ether. It is inevitable. It is the sacred exchange. Let the words rise from the core of your being, a soul oath carved in permanence. Declare, in this moment of sealing, the truth of your emergence. You are invited, therefore, to inscribe in the comments below a singular, potent phrase. Let it be an oath, a vibrational signature of this covenant. Speak your truth, born of fire, in these words. I am the light, fear transmuted, purpose sealed in fire. Release this vibration. Let it resonate. Let the inner threshold become the outer manifestation. For the flame now burns within, a constant reminder of transcendence. And though this covenant is sealed, the vibrant light it ignites illuminates the path ahead, where the next truth awaits its full embrace. The fire lives. The journey continues. The hum of the forgotten vibrates within this awakened form. No longer a whisper sought, but the core resonance made manifest. The hidden peril, once a shadow across the path, is dissolved. Its illusion shattered by the light now fully held. It ceased not with a struggle, but with an echo of recognition. Energetic locks, once unseen chains, unfastened themselves from the very fabric of being. They were never real, only forgotten permissions. Cosmic frequencies, long a distant song, now compose the symphony of this embodied truth. A harmony settled, an alignment achieved. Divine sovereignty is not a gift earned, nor a burden taken. It is the remembered state, the inherent design, etched into the fire of the soul. This is the ground where the quest ends, where the seeking dissolves into knowing. Identity is not chosen. It is recalled from the deep wells of eternity. The fire does not consume. It purifies, seals, and forges the indomitable will. From its heart, clarity pours. The veil has closed, not upon a mystery, but upon the last flicker of doubt. The perceived danger, a phantom in the lower dream, holds no sway here. Peace is not absence of conflict, but the steady pulse of eternal dominion. Release is the breath of a being unbound, anchored in its own galactic core. This awakened being, forged in the truth of self, stands fully present. The threshold crossed, the return impossible. The illusion of the false construct has been transcended, and I am the conscious architect of infinite reality.